Recession, recession, recession. I feel like everywhere you look, that's the word that you see, especially if you follow the YouTube finance gurus and experts.
Whole financial markets are tanking right now.
People are talking about how the economy is about to crash and all that increasing inflation, food prices, gas prices, which you've probably noticed. The question that keeps coming to my mind is what's going to happen with the economy and how can I prepare? And so in this video, I have 5 different things that I think you can keep as your principles for success even in a recession. I call it rules for recession. But before we do that, let's start with defining a recession, because I think sometimes it sounds super scary, like recession, everything's about to crash and we're all going to be homeless. But if you take a look at the definition, or kind of what Fulton Bank says a recession is, or what it means for you, the US Bureau of Economic Analysis defines a recession as a market slippage in economic activity, which you can think of as a downturn or contraction, or the opposite of an expansion. Whatever you call it, a recession can impact your finances. So basically, if I had to explain this to my 2 daughters, 2-year-old and a 5-year-old, I would say, look, usually the market is growing slowly or faster, but it's like as more people produce more income and sell more and people buy more, the consumer spending goes up. That is not a recession because the GDP is growing. But when the economy has a GDP decline for 2 consecutive quarters, which means for 6 months, the economy is shrinking, less people spending, less people. And it's kind of like this self-fulfilling prophecy, because you're like, oh, a recession is coming, so I got to spend less. Businesses make less, so they got to lay off people. And now people are making less, so they can spend less. You get the picture. It's not really positive, but I think if you follow these 5 principles, these rules for recession, then you can succeed even in hard times. Okay, so let's dive in. I'm doing these myself as well. And the one thing that I keep coming back to, which is the most important for me, and I think for you as well, is preserving your energy. So this means different things for different people because we're all in different situations. But the number one thing is be careful who you surround yourself with. Energy is a frequency, and it's gonna kill you if, especially your goals and your dreams and your business, if you surround yourself with negative energy, because your vision is gonna get blurry. Your energy, your output is gonna get drained, and your worldview is gonna be skewed, and it's gonna hurt your ambitions if you surround yourself with people who look at the world as catastrophe, drama, bad news, chaos. They don't see any possibilities or opportunities because that's all they can see. A lot of people like, this is the worst time to start a business, let me not do that. And then you have this other group of people who are like, yeah, it's maybe not the best time, but I know I can, as long as I take care of myself, I can succeed even in this market. So number 2, avoid watching the news. Again, is it helping you, feeding that? Or is it better if you just kind of like watch videos like this one to get a good understanding of where we're heading? And then you go back to preparing yourself. You work on yourself and becoming a little bit better every single day. And third, you are what you believe. If you think that it's doom and gloom, then you're not going to be waking up and be excited about getting to work. Whether it's a job or a business, you're not going to wake up and be like, okay, let's crush it another day. Let me go for a run, get a cold shower, and sit down and work on my business. You're not. You're gonna be like, man, what's the point? I'll just wait for 5 years and all this time is passing and you're just like getting deeper into a negative like down spiral. Number 2, stack your cash reserves. I think this might be the second biggest keys or rules for recession. So make more money, number 1, get a second job, work longer hours, or start a side hustle. So if you have a job, maybe you can start a side hustle, or you can get a second one, or you can work longer hours. Or number 4, you can look for growing industries. So start a completely new business and see, even in a down market, people don't spend money on maybe things they want as much, but they always spend money on things they need. So what are some things that people are always gonna need? Like for example, the reason I sell funnels and I build funnels, I just signed my biggest client ever. 2 clients, the new client that I have is the biggest deal ever in my life. And the previous one before that was a 30K deal. So long-term, big client, very exciting, is because they need funnels and a lot of them. And their clients need funnels and their customers need funnels to sell their offers. It's a growing industry. What is it for you? What's this industry that you look at and say, man, every business, because businesses have money and governments have programs and funding programs for businesses. So even in a down market, people can start new businesses. And what is it that they need? Is it videos? Is it TikTok videos? Is it editing? Turn those skills into services, sell that to them. Go all in on your business. Don't just like half pregnant. Also, work a little too much from what other people would say. You know, if people say, man, this person is crazy, this person is obsessed, I don't know why he works so much, all the time he's working. You gotta be that person if you wanna succeed in a recession. Not just to make enough so you survive, but if you wanna thrive and put money into the market and buy the bottom, wait for the next bull run, like that's where they say millionaires are made. Not in a bull run, but in a bear market, because you invest at the bottom where everyone is selling to buy more food or gas, you know, whatever it is. Like you have extra, and I'll share with you the number one thing that I do to stack my cash reserves so I can buy the bottom. So keep watching. Put money aside for 12 months to live on. So I've heard people say 3 months, 6 months. I think you want to have 12 months for food and rent, right? So like basic bills. You don't want to focus on like, how am I going to make rent? How am I going to buy food for my kids? Like I want to be able to provide the best for my family, even in a bad market. So that's the number one thing. Like that's the first thing, is stack up those cash reserves. So you're not focused on like, when you go to the grocery store, you shouldn't be looking at like, can I afford this steak? Can I afford this, like this food for my kids? And if you're in that position, like don't feel bad. Like don't feel like, man, that's easy for you to say. Like I feel I have compassion for you, right? I feel empathy towards you, but I want you to get above that. I want you to fly above the average situation in America, in Europe, in Asia, wherever you are, right? Because if you're here, you're probably a high achieving, highly ambitious person. And so I want you to stack cash reserves so you have enough to live, and then you can focus your energy, which was the number one thing I said, preserve your energy. Focus that on accelerating, improving and increasing, moving the needle in your business and growing, instead of having to constantly sell things off to kind of survive, and you shrink instead of expanding and growing as a person and as a business. Last one, that's true freedom, because yes, I was thinking about this the other day. If the gas prices, and I'm not saying it's a good thing, obviously people who do this, you know, it's hurting a lot of people. But if that's the main problem you have in your life right now is gas prices, then I want to push you and motivate you to fly above that and get above the average person's problem, because money will solve a lot of money problems, and that's one of the things that you can do with a business. And that's why I say it's true freedom, because yes, it's expensive, but it's not like my main problem is not like food or gas prices. Number 3, find your tribe. This is a very important one. Find 5 people who push you and support you. My friends, I have friends who are entrepreneurs, and we meet every week, both on Zoom calls, and I have local friends as well, where we meet, we talk about business, we see opportunities, we talk about worldviews, and see kind of like, here's what successful people are doing. We compare how to basically avoid self-harm in a market by having those certain beliefs, and how to actually think and how to change your beliefs so that you see opportunities, you grab them, and you don't look back. And that's how I plan to succeed in this recession. Discuss opportunities, not gossip. So when everyone else is like, hey, did you hear about this person? Instead, talk about events, and then keep each other accountable. You know, in a soft snowflake economy and society, instead of, you know, being like yes men to each other, or yes women, where you're like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, yeah, totally understand. Like, you shouldn't push yourself, you know, take a break for 4 years. Instead, be like, set your own individual goals and then keep each other accountable. Number 4, work on your health. Think of your body as a machine. Keep it healthy and serve it. Change the oil like a car. If it's a machine, like make sure you change things, meaning make sure you serve. The Bible says your body is a temple. And I think that's a beautiful way of looking at it, where it's like you got to take care of it in order for it to perform at the top. The better you feel, the better you perform. Anxiety often comes from bad health. So if you look at news, the marketplace, you get anxiety. It's usually because of your hormone imbalance. It could be because of not enough sleep. It could be because of too much sugar. And yes, that's bad for your brain, because your brain is a muscle. And so you want to take care of that first before you solve business problems. Identify as an athlete. I used to play soccer, and every day I would wake up and I'm like, what can I eat? How do I train? I used to be in an academy. We trained 2 to 4 times per day sometimes. Well, 2 to 3. Sometimes it was 4, but that was the average, like 2 per day. And so if I do that right now for business, I'm like, okay, sleep, food, nutrition, supplements, mental energy, like biocells, my gut, whatever it's called, flora, everything. Like you think about yourself as an athlete for your business, then that's where you're gonna be able to thrive and perform at a high level. Number 5, accelerate faster than ever. Yes, I know that sounds controversial because we're talking about recession, but find a mentor who's doing what you love. Pay them whatever you can to learn from them directly. Get close to people, just like we talked about the mastermind, which could be people who are kind of like the same level as you, because you might not have access to people who are super successful. So you brainstorm ideas, you keep each other accountable, and then you pay mentors and coaches, or you buy information. And don't be one of those people who buy 10 different courses and do nothing. Buy one, the best one. Do your research. Buy the best one, pay the person who's doing what you want to do, and get super close to them, message them, get on their calls, talk to them, and ask questions all the time. I have coaching clients who say like, sorry for asking so many questions. I'm like, no, I love you. I love the fact that you're asking so many questions, because we're moving forward and I can see the drive. Go all in yourself to make things happen. Double down on income producing activities, not spending 4 hours and updating your email footer. If you're watching this, you know who I'm talking to. But double down on income producing activities. So if you're a funnel business, it's like producing content, reaching out to people with the Loom audits, closing clients, building funnels for those clients, uploading funnels to your portfolio, and you repeat that system. And you don't deviate into fancy distractions. You stay focused on income producing activities. Stack money, buy up, keep it 10 years, Miller Summit. That basically already covered that. The key here is gamification. List out what you need and make your business a game. Here's what I mean by that. This is the biggest mindset hack I've done in my business. So whatever it is, whether it's travel or whether it's something that we want to buy, if it's something more expensive, or if it's, well, in these times you can even say if it's gas. Let's say you pay $1,000 a month in just gas. Then you ask yourself, like, how many clients do I need to pay for that gas? Okay, 1 client. Okay, food. How much do we spend in food? $700, $1,200. Okay, so that's another client, 2 clients per month. And you just gamify your life by listing out what you need on a monthly basis. For each thing, get a client who pays for it. And your family or people, they deserve the best. So don't cheap out. Instead, get another client, right? Turn your skills, in-demand skills, into a service, and gamify your life where you list out what you need and want, and then you go, this is the top priority. Let me get a client who will pay for that. And it's fun. Trust me, when you start doing this, it's so much fun. And I've been doing this for years. So conclusion, get better in-demand skills, sell those skills as services, make more money, invest in long-term projects, get healthy, enjoy life with great people, gamify your way to the top, and have fun doing it. Yes, I truly believe that. Even in a recession, most of us, we haven't been in a recession. And that's not even mentioning potential depression, where it's not just like semi-bad, it's really bad. So we can't say like, hey, I don't want to go into a recession because I don't want to go through that ever again if you haven't been through one. But you can look at gas prices and say, imagine if that's like 3 times the prices.
Some broke dude just put $1.68. $1.68 his tank, man. He's so broke. Yeah, right.
Look at food prices and food shortages and say, what if that is like 5 times that price? Like if steaks and meat will be a scarce resource, then would I still be able to buy it at 5 times these prices? And if you can't, you want to go through this checklist. If this makes sense, comment below. What's the number one takeaway from this video? I would love to hear from you. That's it. See you in the next one.